You are about to engage in the guidebook unit, Shutting Out the Sky. You will be reading the nonfiction stories of people who came to the United States during the 1800s from many other countries. The purpose of this video is to help you to understand what it means to be a nation of immigrants. Understanding the history of immigration to America will help you to identify important ideas as you engage in the guidebook text. Be sure you have your handout and something to write with for the video. What do you love about living in the United States? The delicious food? The amazing places to visit? The awesome sports? People have been moving to America from many other countries for centuries and for a lot of different reasons. Shutting Out the Sky tells the stories of immigrants who came to the United States between 1880 and 1924. During that time, the population of our country doubled due to immigration. What does it mean to immigrate? Immigration is the movement of people from the country where they were born to a new country. A person who immigrates is called an immigrant. Immigrants have been coming to America ever since European explorers discovered the New World. English colonists started arriving in America in the 1600s seeking religious freedom. The first permanent English colony was built in Jamestown, Virginia. Africans were brought over as slaves soon after. During the American Revolution, huge groups of Europeans immigrated to the United States, mostly from England. They settled along the Atlantic coast in the original 13 colonies from New Hampshire to Georgia. In 1840, Irish immigrants came due to a food shortage in Ireland. This time in Ireland was known as the Great Famine. In Ireland, the main source of food was potatoes. A disease caused the potatoes to rot. The Irish were starving, and the British took what little food the Irish had. About 2 million Irish, almost half the population of Ireland, came to America during this time to escape oppression or unfair treatment from the British. Living in poverty or being poor also motivated many people to migrate. America was known as the land of opportunity, where anyone can become rich. The gold rush in 1849 in California brought many Chinese immigrants into the country from the Pacific coast. Men left behind their families in China for the hopes of finding gold near San Francisco. These Chinese immigrants settled in California, increasing the population from 800 to 25,000 in just 2 years. In Russia and Eastern Europe, Jews were suffering from pogroms, or violent attacks. They immigrated to the United States for religious freedom. Many talented artists, writers, and scientists came during this time as well. The leaders in Germany would not allow citizens to say anything negative about the government. Thousands of brilliant people like Albert Einstein knew they would have freedom of speech in America. Now you are ready to identify the reasons why so many people immigrated to the United States between 1880 and 1924. Match the reasons for immigration with an example of that reason. Pause this video to record your answers on your handout at the first stop sign. Then hit play when you are ready to continue. You should have matched oppression with the Irish, poverty with the Chinese, religion with the Jews, and speech with the Germans. Life in America wasn't automatically easier for immigrants as soon as they arrived. Immigrants were unfamiliar with American language, food, and clothes. Unable to fit in, many immigrants struggled to find jobs and to provide for their families. This political cartoon shows some of the conflicting views about immigrants. Some Americans welcomed them because they thought they brought votes for their political party, or they were willing to work for less money. Others were afraid that immigrants would take their jobs, bring disease, or commit crime. Settling in neighborhoods with people of the same ethnicity helped to ease the uncomfortable feeling of being in a new place with a different cultural background. Immigrants often stayed near the port where they entered the United States. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, as well as Boston, Massachusetts, still have the highest population of Irish Americans in the United States. San Jose, San Francisco, and Los Angeles are home to large populations of Chinese Americans. Most Mexican Americans can be found in Houston and in San Antonio, Texas. And more than 60% of Russian immigrants stayed in Alaska. Now you are ready to identify the reasons why immigrants from the same country often settle together in the same neighborhoods. Pause this video to record your answers on your handout at the second stop sign, then hit play when you are ready to continue. You probably explained that immigrants from the same country often settle close to the port where they entered the country. Also, settling in common neighborhoods like Chinatown or Little Italy reminded immigrants of home and provided a safe place where they could speak their home language and share their customs. The Statue of Liberty on Ellis Island are symbols of freedom to people around the world who continue to immigrate to America every day. Passing the Statue of Liberty on their way, more than 12 million immigrants entered America through Ellis Island by 1954. Last year, almost 1.5 million people arrived in the United States from other countries, still seeking freedom and opportunity. A poem is engraved on the Statue of Liberty, welcoming people into our world. The poem states, "Give me your tired, get your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." For hundreds of years, America has been a promising place for immigrants to build new lives and contribute to our country. Now you are ready to take a closer look at the phrase, a nation of immigrants. Think about what you learned about the history of people coming to the United States from other countries. Pause this video to record your answers on your handout at the third stop sign. Then hit play when you are ready to continue. You should have noted that immigrants have been arriving in America from countries all over the world since the 1600s. America has a mixed population with millions of people from places such as Ireland, England, Africa, Germany, Russia, China, and many more. Because of its promise of a better life, the United States is known as a nation of immigrants. In this video, you learned about some of the reasons why people immigrated to America and the countries from which they came. Knowing our history as a nation of immigrants is important for understanding how our past continues to shape our future as a country. You will use this new knowledge as you analyze the text in the guidebook unit, Shutting Out the Sky. When you finish this video, be sure to turn in your completed handout to your teacher.